She warmed up quietly in the corner. No one knew her past. This sport isn't for you, they said. She just smiled. In a world that rewards noise, silence becomes invisible. And in the middle of that noisy world stood Sarah Miller, 38 years old, plain-looking, quiet. She wasn't trying to prove anything. She didn't post videos. She didn't grunt when lifting, didn't throw her weights, didn't show off her form. She didn't ask for attention. She didn't need it. Every morning at 6:30, she arrived at the gym. Same routine, same corner, same silence. Warmed up methodically, jump rope, mobility, light dumbbells, a series of movements she'd repeated 1,000 times in 1,000 places. Except no one knew that. To them, she was just another woman trying to lose weight, maybe preparing for a divorce, maybe chasing a late-life fitness kick. But Sarah was none of those things. Sarah was a ghost, with a body built on endurance, failure, and adaptation. She had served 8 years in the Army, not behind a desk, not in a clinic. She was boots on the ground. Combat training, survival exercises, field recon, but she didn't wear any of that on her sleeve now. No one could see the calluses that never left. No one knew she could still run 10 miles without blinking. She looked ordinary, and that was her armor. The gym itself was loud, hard rock on the speakers, slamming iron, laughing egos, young guys flexing between sets, girls filming TikToks, trainers yelling out reps, mirrors soaked in sweat and vanity. Sarah didn't belong. And yet she fit perfectly, not because she tried to blend in, but because she knew how to be invisible. She trained like a ghost, precise, unshaken, disciplined. Every rep was intentional, every breath controlled. People noticed her eventually, but not for the right reasons. They noticed because she didn't smile, didn't talk, didn't play along. And in came Derek. Derek Walsh was everything Sarah wasn't. Loud, flashy, vain, an Instagram bodybuilder with more followers than reps. He wore tank tops 2 sizes too small, sunglasses indoors, and a perpetual smirk. His crew followed him like satellites, laughing when he laughed, mocking what he mocked. And soon, they found Sarah. At first, she was just that quiet lady. But Derek didn't like things he didn't understand. And Sarah was unreadable. "Yo, yoga class is next door," he muttered one morning as he passed her. No reaction. She kept stretching her hamstrings, steady and silent. Another day, he bumped her jump rope mid-set. "Oops, didn't see you there." She reset the timer, started again, never broke eye contact with the floor. Silence unnerves insecure men, and Derek was deeply insecure beneath the tattoos and muscle. For Sarah, none of this mattered. She had spent years ignoring worse. Officers barking in her face, survival tests in freezing rain, men trying to break her spirit because they couldn't break her speed. A few childish gym bros didn't even register. But there's a line, and Sarah knew how to hold her ground, not by yelling, not by posturing, but by enduring. She trained in sets of 3, 3 minutes effort, 1 minute rest. No music, no chatter, just her breath and her rhythm. She didn't care who watched. She cared about precision. Every movement was part of a system she had refined through injury, war, and recovery. She had scars no one could see, scars that taught her patience, scars that reminded her of everything she had already survived. Every lift, every stride, every rotation wasn't about looking better, it was about staying whole. The mockery continued. One guy imitated her stretching with exaggerated groans. Someone else filmed her doing glute bridges and added circus music over it. They shared it in a group chat. She saw it, said nothing, came back the next day. Each insult they threw was met with a nod, a set, a breath. She wasn't training for them. She was training because training was her anchor, the place where things made sense. Because when you've crawled through mud under barbed wire in the dark, a few gym rats with GoPros don't even register. But everything changed the day the flyer went up. End-of-year challenge, a multi-event test of strength, agility, and endurance. No prizes, no glory, just bragging rights. The gym was buzzing. Derek was the first to sign up, of course. He announced it like a boxing match. "Time to remind this place who runs it." His crew followed, all smiles, protein shakes, and tribal bravado. Sarah? She looked at the clipboard, paused, then wrote her name at the bottom. Neat, quiet. No one noticed, not yet. The sign-up sheet stayed on the wall for a week. Names kept filling in, mostly regulars, mostly loud. And at the bottom, in neat handwriting, Sarah Miller. At first, no one noticed. Then someone asked, "Wait, is that the quiet lady?" Laughter followed. They thought it was a joke. Derek was thrilled. He had already planned his victory speech. Now, he had an easy target. He leaned into it, calling her Miss Cardio in front of others, making exaggerated grunting sounds when she walked past, mocking her calm demeanor. Sarah never reacted. She showed up, she trained, she left. Each day her sessions got a little longer, a little sharper. She added sled pushes, farmer's carries, treadmill sprints. No one really paid attention. They assumed she was just trying to survive the event. But Sarah didn't train to survive. She trained to endure. She remembered the drills from her army days, buried deep in her muscle memory, not flashy, just effective. She rehearsed her breathing patterns, perfected her grip placements, timed her transitions between stations. She wasn't preparing to impress, she was preparing to execute. Challenge day arrived. The gym looked different. Rows of benches lined the walls, posters, lights, music. A few small sponsors even donated gear and gift cards. The vibe was half underground fight club, half fitness influencer expo. Tripods were set, phones charged, everyone dressed in their loudest workout gear. And then quietly, Sarah walked in. Gray hoodie, black leggings, no makeup, hair pulled back. She found her corner, started stretching. No eye contact, no phone, just focus. The challenge had 4 parts. Deadlift ladder, max reps at increasing weights. Agility sprint, cone weaves, lateral jumps, balance beams. Weighted carry, timed sandbag walk with overhead hold. Treadmill gauntlet, max incline, 15 minutes, non-stop. Each section scored by time, form, and endurance. Winner would be based on total performance. Derek warmed up loudly, hyped himself up. His crew surrounded him like an entourage, laughing, filming. Sarah stood alone. Event 1, deadlift ladder. Each participant got 60 seconds per station. Weight went up each round. Derek went first. He lifted heavy, fast, loud. Between sets, he flexed and winked at the cameras. Crowd cheered. Then came Sarah. She stepped up, chalked her hands. No warm-up pull, just one clean rep. Pause. Next weight, same thing. Each rep was smooth, efficient, quiet. By the final station, only 2 participants remained, Derek and Sarah. Derek's total, 8 successful lifts. Sarah's total, 9. No one said anything. Yet. Event 2, agility sprint. Cone drills, hurdle jumps, balance runs. Derek took off like a cannon. Blazing fast, but sloppy. He knocked over 2 cones, slipped once, didn't reset them, didn't care. Sarah walked to the start line, waited for the beep, then moved like water. Not fast, but smooth, no errors. Clean footwork, controlled jumps, balanced every beam. The timer buzzed. She was slower than Derek, but had 0 penalties. Scoreboard, still close. Now people started whispering, "She's really doing this. She's not just lucky." Event 3, weighted carry, 2 sandbags, one held across the chest, the other overhead. Timed carry, 50 feet down, 50 feet back. Derek went in hot, tried to jog the course, dropped the top bag halfway, reset, tried again, grunted, shook his head, finished, barely. Sarah lifted both bags, centered her stance, began walking, each step deliberate, no shaking, no drop. One smooth trip down and back. She finished with a higher time, but full control, full points. Now eyes were on her. The phone started pointing in her direction. Derek noticed. His smirk was gone. He wasn't losing, but he wasn't dominating either. And that was new. His crew tried to distract her, clapping loudly during her sets, murmuring comments within earshot. She didn't react, not even a glance. She was used to noise. She had been trained to find stillness inside chaos, and it was working. Only one event left. The treadmill gauntlet, 15 minutes, maximum incline. No breaks, no pauses, just you and the machine. The gym felt heavier now, like it had inhaled all that energy and was holding its breath. Sarah stood at her treadmill, no cameras, no pre-workout, no crowd, just her and the incline. Derek was one machine over. He cracked his knuckles, sipped something fluorescent, gave one last smirk to his followers through the lens. And then, the countdown. 3, 2, 1. Start. The belts kicked into motion. Incline auto adjusted. No talking, just feet pounding rubber. Derek shot out fast. Aggressive strides, arms pumping, big statement energy. Sarah began with short, controlled steps. Eyes forward, no change in expression. The timer ticked past minute 2. Derek was already sweating. His shirt clung to his chest. He pushed harder. Minute 5. Sarah adjusted her breath. Deep, rhythmic, like waves rolling in. Derek glanced over. She hadn't changed speed. She hadn't looked at him once. His ego flinched. By minute 7, Derek's posture slipped. He gripped the front bar once, then again. His legs were fighting his lungs now. Sarah didn't look tired, didn't look anything, just focused, deliberate. Her footfalls were metronomic, the same from minute 1 to minute 8. No bounce, no lag, no wasted effort. At minute 9, Derek stumbled, barely caught himself. His foot hit the edge of the belt. He cursed under his breath. People noticed. By minute 10, Sarah had increased her pace. Not visibly, but internally, she found another gear. One forged in field marches, mountain treks, survival drills, the kind of gear no supplement could buy, the kind you only find when your body screams and your mind whispers, "Keep going." Minute 12, Derek slammed the emergency stop. He hunched over the rails, chest heaving, sweat dripping. Silence filled the room. No applause, no rescue. He had given up, early. All eyes turned, but not to him, to her. Sarah was still running, not fast, but steady. Her breathing remained calm. Her arms swung like pendulums, effortless. At minute 14, she reached behind to adjust her ponytail mid-stride. Someone in the audience audibly said, "No way." 15 minutes, complete. The machine beeped. Sarah pressed stop, stepped off, grabbed a towel, walked past Derek, and out the front door. No high fives, no look back. Just motion, just exit. Inside the gym, no one spoke for a moment. Then someone clapped, then another. Then the whole room echoed in something more honest than hype. Respect. Derek sat on a bench, towel over his head. He didn't look up. Later that night, the gym's Instagram posted a single photo. Sarah, walking away from the treadmill, hoodie up, back turned. No filter, no tag. The caption read, "Sometimes the quietest one carries the storm." The comments blew up. Who is she? Is she a pro? That was cold. Legend. Teach me your ways. But Sarah never saw them. She didn't follow the gym account, didn't care for clout. She had already moved on to tomorrow's routine. Same warm-up, same corner, same silence. Back at the gym, things shifted. Derek returned the next day. No fanfare, no jokes. He trained in the corner, quietly. People watched him, but they weren't laughing anymore. Other women started asking trainers about her programming. Whatever she was doing, I want that. The trainers shrugged. She never told us anything, she just trained. Sarah never talked about that day. She didn't wear a medal, there was no prize. But the gym remembered. And they would remember for a long time. Not because she was the strongest, or fastest, or loudest, but because she did the hardest thing. She made excellence look effortless. After the challenge, things didn't go back to normal. They couldn't. The gym had changed, not physically, but in atmosphere. People moved quieter. They stretched longer. They started showing up earlier. There were fewer phones out, fewer grunts, fewer laughs at others' expense. Even Derek changed. He no longer led with volume. No more jokes, no more ego-fueled warm-ups. He still trained hard, maybe harder than before, but it was different now. He would glance at Sarah when she passed, never spoke, never mocked. Sometimes he nodded. She never nodded back, but she always noticed. Sarah didn't ask for this change. She didn't want a spotlight. She wasn't here to be a hero. She didn't need recognition. That's what made it real. Because the most powerful influence comes not from domination, but example. She reminded everyone what strength looks like when it's stripped of ego, of noise, of decoration, just discipline, consistency, and presence. New members came to the gym weeks later. Teenagers, young women, some overweight, some shy, all unsure. And they watched her. without her knowing. One asked a trainer, "Can I do what she does?" The trainer smiled, "Not yet, but if you do what she did, maybe one day." Sarah kept training, same warm-ups, same structure, same stillness, but something subtle shifted. She wasn't just working out anymore, she was anchoring the room. Every person who saw her learned something, without her ever saying a word. Months passed. She never entered another challenge. She didn't need to. She had proven her point without trying to. And more importantly, she had proven it to herself long before that day ever came. Because Sarah knew, strength isn't tested on stage, it's tested in silence, when no one is watching, when no one is cheering, when quitting is easy but you don't. That's the real competition. That's the battlefield she trained for. People often think battles look like explosions, like arguments, like someone yelling and someone else breaking. But Sarah knew better. The hardest battles are invisible, the ones inside your lungs when you can't breathe, inside your legs when they won't move, inside your head when it screams, "Stop, no one cares," and you say back, "I do." That's what Sarah said every morning, without saying it. The gym eventually framed a photo of her. It was a candid. She's in the back corner, mid-lift, completely unaware of the camera. Below it, strength is quiet, but never weak. No one asked her permission. They didn't have to. They knew she'd never pose. That wasn't her way. One day a woman approached her, late 40s, nervous. She asked, "How do I start?" Sarah looked at her, then pointed to the floor. "Right there," she said. "Show up, every day, even when it sucks, especially when it sucks." That was the longest sentence Sarah had spoken at the gym, ever. The woman smiled, nodded, and began. Sarah didn't inspire with speeches. She didn't lead a class. She didn't sell a program. She just became the kind of person everyone else eventually noticed when they were finally quiet enough to see. Her story isn't a viral video. It's not clickbait, it's not loud. It's legacy. And the best part? She never stopped. She didn't peak. She didn't burn out. She just kept showing up. Over and over and over. So if you ever feel overlooked, if you're the quiet one, the doubted one, the dismissed one, remember this. You don't need a spotlight. You don't need to talk louder. You just need to keep moving. Because someday, without saying a word, you'll walk past the noise and they'll know. You took them all down, without a single shout, without permission, without apology, just motion, just silence, just strength.